Dina?
Yes.
I'm here with you now, and I'd like you to introduce yourself and say what that sign is, which I just scanned, and where we are, and what's going on here this afternoon.
Okay, my name is Dina Mashbir. I am a resident of Jerusalem. I've been living in Israel for now 9 years now. The reason I'm here today is to identify with anybody and everybody who really believes in true democracy and is totally against this policy of the government of administrative detention. Administrative detention entails basically an effective way that the government silences the opposition, but it's very undemocratic in the sense that a person can be picked up, not charged with any crime, put in jail for anywhere from 6 months to a year without even access to a lawyer if the government sees fit to prevent him from seeing a lawyer or any counsel, without being charged with any crime, and even without a trial, without a chance to defend himself. Administrative detention is a law that dates back to mandate times, British mandate times, and it was used by the British in pre-state days against Jews, against the Irgun Tzvei Leumi or anybody else against the mandate. Now, unfortunately, and it's being used by a Jewish government, supposedly Jewish in name only, against Jews. Still being used against Jews, but by this time by Jews. The sign in back of us is the theme of this demonstration. What it means in English is administrative detention equals political terror. And that's also what it says on all the smaller signs that you see around the square. We're standing in the middle of Jerusalem now, in the heart of Jerusalem. And this is a place where everybody goes by, and one of the best places for demonstrations. As we go by, you'll see other signs that are smaller that have the same theme. This is the theme. And we also have wives, relatives, friends, and family of people who are currently in administrative detention, who are holding a hunger strike. They're staging a hunger strike for as long as it takes to free these people, or for as long as it takes to change the policies of the Rabin government, and basically also to wake up the Israeli populace who are extremely apathetic, but are just beginning to wake up and see that all this disastrous policy is going to be affecting not only people in the so-called territories, but everybody in Israel. So this is a demonstration and a hunger strike to wake the people up. And as a group, we can fell this government, we can drop this government, and get a real Jewish government in power.
Dina, could you hold that sign straight, the yellow one, and we'll see what it says here?
Okay. I'd like to add, besides saying, straighten out. Besides saying administrative detention, political terror, the bottom part, this part says, we got over Stalin and we'll get over Rabin too. And you'll see these signs all over.
Let's walk around and we'll take a look at the other signs and the other groups that are here.
Hopefully there'll be a lot more demonstrations like this.
These demonstrations, how well covered are they in the Israeli press and media?
In the typical Israeli media, my personal opinion is, and I've seen, when I get to see them during the week, it's not very well covered. We have to remember that the media is controlled by the leftist government. The communications ministry is controlled by Meretz, who are definitely on the left, and about as far left as you can get. So of course they're going to have control about what gets in and what doesn't get published, basically. So we can't expect much from the papers. Really, the only papers that you can trust anything that they say are the religious papers, English or Hebrew. My personal feeling is these little demonstrations. People go by in their cars, passers-by on foot, and you never know how it's going to affect people. People could be affected little by little, things like this sink in. And so everybody has their breaking point, everybody has their limits, and this is the idea of these demonstrations. to work on reaching them little by little until they've had it, and we have to move. We have to do something.
What square are we in now? What is this place called, Dina?
Well, if you see the sign over there, it's called Kikar Moshe Bar Ab. It has another name which escapes me at the moment. We're in the heart of Jerusalem, like I said. We're at King George Street, across from a major department store called the Mashbir. This is the center of Jerusalem, and it attracts a lot of pedestrian and car traffic. And it's an ideal place to have a demonstration of this type.
Dina, could we go over here and you'll read these signs here that this woman is holding?
I'll do my best.
And maybe we can talk with her a little bit.
Okay. Okay, we'll start with this one. I go in the order of Hebrew. This one says, Jews go home. Okay.
No. Jews in home. In the home.
Okay, but the idea is they have to go home first. Then they'll be in home.
Jews in home. What does the sign say?
We are.
Yes. You'll need Babait, Arabi, Mahutza, Arabs out.
Yes.
The second one is Arabs out. And Jews to the right.
To the right.
To the right.
And on this side?
Why don't we ask her? And she'll be able to translate. She knows. Okay.
And you call it Gibri?
No, this has got to be in English. Okay. Paris, Rabin, Arafat, Shalosh. It's a little hard to say.
3 murderers.
This is related. This is a sign related to the Holocaust. The Holocaust theme. Paris, Rabin, Arafat. The triplet, the murderous triplet is leading to a concentration camp, a death camp. Okay, for Israeli people, right? In Zion. And you can see the Jewish star at the bottom, similar to the ones that the Jews and the victims of the Shoah or the Holocaust.
Where are you from?
I'm from Vitality.
And what brings you here today?
I'm mother.
Your mother.
Yes. And my son is Baruch Mordechai for Baruch Goldstein.
Oh, named after Baruch Goldstein.
Yes. Have you or members of your family or people that you know been victims of the Arab terror?
And you know
אם את או משפחתך עם קורבנות הטרור, הייתם קורבנות הטרור פעם או מה? No, she says no.
Do you know people who have been?
Yes.
There's a mother here. There's a mother here?
She knows, איך קוראים לה? מה השם הפרטי שלה?
מה?
השם הפרטי של ליפקין.
מרדכי.
נכון. She knows personally the widow of Mordechai Lipkin.
Yes.
I don't remember his story.
She has 4 sons.
She lost 4 sons?
Without father.
And where did that happen? Where did that happen?
Der Hebron?
On the way to Hebron. On the way to Hebron.
Okay.
Very good. I hear that there's a mother here and we'd like to interview her too as well.
A mother, I'm not
Yes,
sure. Let me
let's
see.
We're going to go right over here. Okay. Yes.
30 minutes.
This is Shifra Hoffman. She's returned from her tour from the United States.
I returned and I wanted to come home to my Jewish country. I hope it will be one. Bezrat Hashem. These are all the best Jews you have here, right here. All the rest are either apathetic or they don't know what's happening.
Excuse me, Shifra, the best Jews seem to be in jail.
Everybody has their breaking point. Everybody has their limits, and things are going to break. Finally, one day, the people are going to wake up. The question is, how much more Jewish blood has to be shed? How much more do we have to suffer before we learn from this government's folly and our own folly, from our own apathy?
Let me ask, what brings you out today?
What brings me out?
Yes, why are you here today?
I'm here because I formerly lived in America, and I understand that in America there's a Bill of Rights. In Israel there's no democracy. Unfortunately, we're living now in a police state, and you can use my name. My name is Nikki Sunshine, and Many of my friends are sitting in jail. There are no charges against them because they didn't do anything. But Arab murderers are let out. One of the murderers from Hamas that was let out that was in Lebanon was a man who set a bomb off in the bus in Afula. This is what the government is doing to us. Jewish blood is cheap, and they will stifle opposition just like Nazi Germany. The police went into the homes in Kiryat Arba and in Hebron 4 o'clock in the morning to look for these men. And it's a disgrace in a so-called Jewish country that this is happening. And I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I'm an Israeli citizen.
Mickey, where are you from now?
Now I live in Jerusalem.
You live in Jerusalem here. And how did you learn of what was happening, as you just said, in Hebron, where they came in at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Because one of my dearest friends is Eli Shever Fetterman, whose husband is now sitting in jail, Noah, and Baruch Marzel, who's head of the defunct organization KAP, is sitting in jail with no charges. There are no charges against them because these men did not do anything. If the government has charges, let them put them on the table. We're very, very happy to answer them.
I understand that there is a mother here who has a son or a daughter in detention now.
Yes, there are two.
Could you point them out to me?
Yes.
Very
This is Baruch Marzel's mother here.
Baruch Mazel's mother?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
good video.
Why do I take the red hair? But she doesn't speak any English. Mrs. Marzel speaks English.
Okay, let me talk to Miss Marzel, and thank you very much.
Shut it off first.
Okay.
I brought it to the head doctor who was in the army. My husband. That was my husband. That was my husband.
That's not your husband. In the son. But who was
It's my
killed?
husband. My son was killed.
A son
My son was killed.
אתם יכולים לעבור לצד השני?
I remember.
כי לא רואים את האנשים שעומדים כאן, צריכים לעמוד שם.
And you have your husband?
Yes. You were saying your son was killed 11 years ago.
11 years ago in Hebron. He was a yeshiva student who was standing in the main intersection in Hebron. He was killed, stabbed by 3 Arabs who were part of a group of 8 that had been sent to Amman, Jordan, to a school for terrorists to come back and commit some kind of crime against Jews in Israel. The Arabs tried to hide his body, and when the soldiers found his body and brought it back to the medical station in the army checkpoint, it was Dr. Baruch Goldstein that received his body. And this was Dr. Goldstein's first incident in receiving a Jew who, as he told us later, had only been brought to him 2 or 3 minutes earlier. Maybe he could have saved him. But with all of his efforts, he couldn't because it was fatal. My son's killers were brought to a trial a year and a half later. Some were given 30 years, 25 years, and 10 years. Almost all of them are free today. One of the ones who was freed with the 1100 exchange with Jibril committed another crime. He killed 8 Jews in Egypt a few years ago. Another murderer has received the license from the government of Israel to be a tour leader, and he takes Christians around Hebron to the site where my son was killed and proudly tells them, I helped kill this boy. These boys are free today, these murderers, after having been tried, declared guilty, and innocent people like my friend Mrs. Marzel's son is sitting in jail for nothing in a democratic, supposedly, country. I say this is a police state. We have no fair judgment. If anything, the police are harder on the Jews than the Arabs. Arabs can go free. Arabs walk any city they want in this country and have no fear of being hurt. My children are afraid to get on a bus today.
And where are you living now?
I live in northern Jerusalem.
Mrs. Marzel, your son is in jail now?
My son is in jail, and he was taken in without a trial, without due process. He was declared a terrorist, although he has never shot an illegal shot. He walks around without a gun, and he's the big terrorist. And all the terrorists who shot Jews, who knifed Jews, they are getting out free. The problem is whether they're letting out 5,000 or 7,000 Arab terrorists out, half of them who will become soldiers and policemen in the new Palestinian state, or the autonomy as they call it today.
Do you know other parents whose sons are in detention as well?
No, I know most of the wives. I don't know the parents.
I see.
But all the ones that are in detention have parents.
Yes.
I'm here because my daughter just gave birth. My daughter-in-law just gave birth, so she can't be here, so I'm representing the family.
What are you hoping will come from today?
I'm hoping that Am Yisrael will wake up and learn who are their friends and who are their enemies, because they forgot.
Thank you very much.
I hope that there will be.
Now we can do it.
So you and husband both then?
I hope that there will be an insurrection of the people against this government, because this government is taking us to an impossible situation, a very dangerous situation. But all these things are done and dictated by the United States of America. And here, that power, the power of the United States, here it will be their, how do you say that, a cave of Achilles.
Achilles heel.
Yes.
Where are you from, sir?
I'm living here in Gilo, in Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem.
France? Where are you from originally? France?
I was from Belgium.
From Belgium. Do you yourself have family members who have been victims of the Arab terror?
No, but it is enough that my father was killed in Auschwitz. So Mr. Rabin is now putting the situation in such situation that it endangers the lives of Jews in our country here. He is making a politic of quisling.
Thank you very much.
You notice the crowd, the number of the people have increased here, and I think it probably will increase later if the demonstration goes on tonight. Little by little, this kind of thing can sink in. I'm not saying it's going to work with everybody, but our objective here is to wake people up. Israelis have a tendency to bury things and just go on. And no matter what happens, they just tend to wipe it aside as soon as possible and grab onto some semblance of normality. And our idea is to wake people up to the real matzav here, to the real situation here, and that they're not going to have much of their normality much longer if this keeps up. If nothing is done, if nothing is done, it's going to get worse, not better. So if we can go back there, maybe we can see some
Very good.
signs and some people that are involved in the hunger strike itself.
Very good.
I'm here because, as some of the other people have said, I think that the government that Rabin is presenting to the world is an undemocratic government. When people can be arrested and put away in administrative detention without any charges being brought against them, without coming before a judge, no charges being brought against them, then we are not in democracy anymore. There's a fellow that lives on my yeshuv.
Where is that?
In Shiloh. Shiloh happens to be the center of Israel. It was the capital of Israel for 359 years before we even had Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
In Shiloh, about how many Jews are living there today?
We have 150 families, multiply that by about 7. So you got, I don't know, 1,000 Jews.
And how many Arabs are living in Shiloh?
None. In neighboring villages we have Arabs, and we have some difficulties every once in a while where they're throwing Molotov cocktails or trying to bomb our buses or killing us. But that's not the issue today. Today the issue is the government trying to suppress people's ideas. Regardless of what your ideas are, if they let this continue, we're in a state where this could be like communist Russia or Nazi Germany, where a person's ideas today that is right-wing is bad, a person who's center might be bad tomorrow. And that's the problem that we're facing. And that's why I'm here to demonstrate. There's a fellow in my yeshiva who's there 3 months. For 3 months. His wife gave birth prematurely in the 8th month last week. They asked to be released. And what they did, the generous government that we had, allowed this man to be released for an hour and a half so he could come to see his newborn baby and name the child. And then they surrounded him with 10 policemen and then allowed him to go back and brought him back to prison. And that's democracy.
What was the charge?
There is no charge. It's administrative detention. They say he's a danger to the society here in Israel because he happens to think the way Rabbi Kahana thought. But it doesn't make a difference what his thoughts were or what his thoughts are. If someone thinks a certain way, they can now put you in prison, which is crazy. I mean, that's really the crux of this whole situation.
I understand that there are some people who are on a hunger strike today.
That's one of the gentlemen that's on a hunger strike is Shmuel Ben Yaakov, who was from Shiloh, who just was released for 2 hours to have the naming of his baby in Shiloh.
He's on a hunger strike now.
He's on a hunger strike in prison.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is also part of the demonstration, part of the whole general scene here. The hunger strikers, some of them were sitting back here. A lot of people have headed for the intersection of King George and Rehov Jaffa roads. They were supposed to have another demonstration down there, but I'll describe generally what you see here. This is a jail cell over here.
The jail cell over here.
Jail cell that symbolizes the plight of the people in administrative detention.
Let's see what it says in Hebrew.
Yeah, let's translate. Okay, this is you can see the caricature of Yitzhak Rabin, our leader, and quote unquote. The one above here, the one on the top says. Okay, this is a new type of administrative detention cell. And the sign here says dangerous to Jews and to the state of Israel. I'm assuming they're going to put somebody in there.
Here we have Rabin and Arafat shaking hands with blood dripping from them. And it says on the top.
Okay, on the top.
Arotzeach.
The Altalena, yeah. The Altalena was the Irgun ship that was sunk by Rabin and company. And Rabin shot at some of the survivors who swam away from the Altalena in 1946, I believe. And here he's shaking hands with Arafat, who was the murderer in Ma'alut. Arafat's group, Fatah, was responsible for the murder of about 30 Jewish school children in a school in Ma'alot back in the mid-70s. So we have here two of a kind, basically. One murderer of Jews from the Altalena shakes the hand of another murderer of Jews from Ma'alot.
And what do we have over here now?
Okay. This is a table where some of the hunger strikers were sitting here, and some people involved in that are friends and relatives of the people in jail, administrative detention.
Can we say what this sign down here is?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, some of it's not. The basic idea is. It jails the state of Israel jails its sons and frees its enemies. Basically, that's what it says in loose translation.
Okay, what do we have here on this sign?
Okay, this is the sign, the official sign of the hunger strikers here.
Yes, I've seen that around Jerusalem.
Here are the names of some of the people. You want me to read them?
Yes, please.
Okay, Baruch Marzel,
Yes.
Noam Fetterman,
Yes.
Michael Ben Chorin, Ben Zion Gopstein, and Shmuel Ben Yaakov, and there are others also.
These are the people who've been arrested.
Yeah. Now these are the people who are also striking in jail, hunger striking in jail.
Yes.
And it says already 11 days, okay? And already 11 days in Telma in prison in protest against the administrative detention and against their political persecution in Israel. And it says under here, we are stronger. We are stronger. We are stronger than this violent administration. Okay? Together we will overcome them. That's what the sign says.
Can we see? Does someone speak English here?
No.
No. We'll ask. We'll see if we can get a conversation back and forth, though. Okay. Ask why he's here today. Okay, name and why he's here.
נתי עוזרי.
למה אתה פה היום?
אנחנו מוחים, אנחנו עושים הפגנה, מוחים על זה שעוצרים יהודים שרוצים לעשות טוב לעם ישראל ולארץ ישראל, והם משחררים ערבים שהורגים יהודים ורוצים לקחת את ארץ ישראל.
Okay, this is Nati, and he's here today because he's against this policy of arresting and jailing good Jews who want to save and help the country, as opposed to freeing our enemies, our murderous enemies. That's why they're here today, to protest this policy.
And where are you from?
קריית ארבע.
From Kiryat Arba.
Yeah.
Are the others here today from Kiryat Arba as well?
הוא שואל אם כולכם מקריית ארבע.
הוא ממצפה רחב.
בלי צילום, שזה הולך רק הוא מראיין.
ממצפה רחב.
כן.
Yes?
לא, לא.
Okay.
יש גם מירושלים גם כן. Oh, there are some people from Jerusalem also. Not just from the territory, so-called.
Let the people know that I'm here from the United States, and I want to take back some filming of what's going on in Israel.
Okay. הוא מארצות הברית, הוא רוצה לצלם מה שקורה בישראל, הוא בעצם, I can tell you you're helping, right?
Yes.
הוא בעצם עוזר לשפר הופמן, הוא עובד איתה גם בארצות הברית, כן? והארגון שלה נפגעי הטרור הערבי, כן? הוא מראיין אנשים כאן, הוא מצלם אותם, הוא רוצה להקרין את זה בארצות הברית.
Would he like to say anything that the Jewish people in America should know?
אתה רוצה להוסיף, לומר עוד משהו שיהודי אמריקה צריכים לדעת?
צריכים לדעת שיבואו לפה לעזור לנו להילחם.
אמן.
שיעלו לארץ לעזור לנו להילחם.
אוקיי.
בממשלת תרבות המערב, כדי שנוכל להקים פה מדינה יהודית.
Nati says that let all American Jews make aliyah immediately so they can fight this degenerate Western culture and make a real Jewish state.
Thank you very much. Toda מאוד.
I can describe.
תודה רבה.
Okay, you're going to describe what's here on the table?
On the table we have some flyers. Yeah, we also have a place for donations.
Yeah.
The cause needs money to help it go along and help it support itself, and to help for the publications, and to help spread the word that this this administrative detention policy is totally against any kind of democratic principle. Now, also on the table we have flyers. This is the flyer from a group called the Women in Blue and White.
The Women in Blue and White. Can you
Yeah.
tell me about them?
These are a group of women of all persuasions, religious, non-religious, everything in between, who, blue and white is the colors of Israel, the colors of the Israeli flag, and they act as patriots, and they're also protesting the situation and Rabin's policies, and they're also holding a demonstration today.
Will we be able to see them?
Yeah, I think they all went down a few blocks to the corner of King George and Jaffa Road.
Very good.
Okay. And we also have here a petition.
Yes, petition.
This is a petition that says, we, the citizens of Israel, strongly protest the political terror that the Israeli government is conducting against innocent citizens.
If you hold that close, I'll be able to see some of the names. We have 20 full names on there.
There are more too. There are more on the table that are
Okay,
signed.
there are several others. How many other petitions are there signed there, would you say? Oh, there's quite a number.
We have, let's see, we have a list for, wow.
Let's keep
okay.
going. Let's see how many there are there.
Yeah.
So it's 20, about 100, 200, maybe 300 now. We're into 400.
There must be about you might say 600,
Yeah,
700.
we'll take that out of the way.
Yeah.
You know, so we can see. So it is
There must
about
be a good
700,
800 maybe.
7 or 800
Yeah.
filled out there.
Yeah. Okay. It's mainly, it stresses the point that administrative detention is being used against the enemies of our, used in favor of the enemies of our people, actually, okay? Like
Yes.
Faisal Husseini and Ahmed Tibi, Arab members of Knesset, and also Arab PLO-niks that are involved in the so-called peace process. So it's really, the whole administrative detention policy is for them and against Jews who love Israel. And this is what this is about. This is why people sign it, because they're worried about the country, because they love the country. We also have flyers of words of Torah here. We also have a flyer in Russian, which unfortunately I can't read.
Okay, but we'll take a, we'll make note of that.
Okay.
Yes, there it is in Russian, yes.
Yeah, okay, Russian. And that's basically what we have on this table. I understand they're returning, that women in blue are returning back, white and blue are returning back here.
Yes.
So,
what is it for? Who is it for? All those people who do not agree with Kach, which is the Kahana's group, think that it's essential that nobody will be arrested just because what they think he wants to do. People should be arrested only if they did something wrong, something illegal. And if you arrest people only for his intention, then there is no freedom for anybody here. That's the end of the democracy, the end of the freedom. And this nobody's going to give up. Not here, not every other place in Israel, and I hope not every other place in the free world. And that's why even people who do not agree with those who are arrested won't let them stay there as far as we can, because we want to be a free nation in Israel and free human beings in the world. Okay?
Thank you very much. Let me ask, where are you from?
I'm from Gilo, from Jerusalem.
Right here in Jerusalem.
Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I would like you to know about Yitzhak Goldstein. Yitzhak Goldstein is one of the few who dedicates himself totally without any seeking any honor, seeking any reward except Min HaShamayim, not himself. Every week, almost for 5 years, he was with us against the women in black, these leftist Jews whose raison d'etre is to dismantle the state of Israel. Their slogan, die like kibbutz, end the occupation, 2 people, 2 lands. And Yitzhak would lug the very heavy exhibit, and he would stand there with the heat and the cold. I want to point out, here is what American Jews never speak about, or I get angry. When something happens in Hebron, it's a massacre. But when Jews are murdered day after day after day, without...
Let me just get a close-up of this, Shifra. We have names on here. Okay.
These are the Jews murdered in the so-called Intifada, which the press is so thrilled and calls a freedom fight.
And this has the dates from 1987.
Right. We don't even have the latest ones, because I was in the States, as you know, and they're speaking to them.
I've heard that there have been over 50 murders of Jews since the Intifada has gone on, since the peace signing, so-called peace accord signing.
Since Rabin shook the bloody hand of our these good Jews who want to see that there should be a state, they imprison without charges. They use a British law. It's important that you know this. They used a British law. We fought the British to drive them out of Israel, so we should have a Jewish state with Jewish law. And today they used an old British law to imprison good Jews who fought and fight for the rights of the Jewish people in Eretz Israel.
And how many do we have? How many karbonos? How many sacrifices for peace? Almost 300.
And you know, Boaz, when with God's help, when I began the organization, you are our international coordinator. So you know, at the time, that I said that this is going to be, God forbid, the voice of the future, or the wave of the future. And here we have it. Here we have Jews in our own land murdered. Mothers with their own babies shot down. Fathers together with their sons. You can have a Holocaust in the Jewish state, God forbid, if it's not stopped. Yitzchak, אתה רוצה להגיד משהו, אני אתרגם. בשביל היהודים באמריקה. למה אתה מטפל בעניינים? למה אתה מטפל באיתנו,
אני חושב שאני מצטרף שמחר, אני מצטרף, אני עוזר לארגון הזה שמחר חלילה להביא את המסר שאני, למרות שאני לא אחד מנפגעי הטרור, שמחר זה לא יקרה במשפחה שלי.
He says that he is involved with the Victims of Arab Terror International, our organization, because today these are the victims and no one should forget them. But tomorrow, his family, he, or God forbid any Jew here could be a victim. There is no problem who is a Jew for the haters, whether they wear a keffiyeh or they wear a swastika. And Arafat cleverly is able to convince Rabin that he should be believed, not the Jews who fight for Israel's rights. Oh, by the way, you see, we were selected by the Jerusalem Post for the work of the Victims of Arab Terror, and Yitzchak deserves a lot of credit, and so does my husband, Ralph. We were selected as one of the top newspapers of '93. And not that I'm saying this because we want any kind of self-aggrandizement. We're saying it because these people in the establishment who like to see these things, are you credible? Yes, we're credible, but we'd like to know where you are.
I want the people of the United States to know this is not peace. What's going on now is blood peace. It's not anything close to peace. Jews are killed every day, so that doesn't mean it's peace.
Let me know a little bit about you, your name and how old you are and where you're from.
Avi Weisberg, I was born in New York. We came 9.5 years ago. I lived in Harnoch in Jerusalem.
And how old are you?
I'm 13.
And where do you go to school?
Boys Town in Baitul.
And what is the opinion of the other boys there about what's going on in Israel?
No one likes what this government is doing.
If they were able to vote, what percentage of your classmates would vote for Rabin?
No one.
No one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
שמי שפותח במלחמה מסתכן במוות, כמו שאני הולך למלחמה, אני יודע שאני מסתכן במוות. נכון?
אני מדבר איתך על הפתיחה במלחמה. מה שקורה, הייתה פה מדינה בריטית. עכשיו, אנחנו באנו בדרישה
לא היה פה מדינה בריטית, הבריטים השתלטו בכוח על שטח שלו שלהם. למה אתה לא עונה?
Shifra, can you say what's going on here?
אני מאמין של היהודים, של עם ישראל. מתוקף זה שאנחנו עם יהודי והארץ הזו מיועדת לעם היהודי. מתוקף התורה. מתוקף התורה. בלי זה אין...
לא מאמינים בתורה, וגם אני לא מאמין בתורה.
אז אין לך מה לעשות?
אז יש מחלוקת, יש די חילוקי דעות בינך לבין הפלסטינים.
אז באיזה זכות אתה בתל אביב? באיזה זכות אתה בתל אביב? זה גם לא שלך.
יש לנו, זה עם בלי מדינה, עם היהודי, עם בלי מדינה.
רגע, עם בלי מדינה יכול לקחת שטח שלא שייך לו?
אין ברירה.
אין ברירה? זה לא נראה בעיניך פשיסטי מה שאתה אומר? זה לא פשיסטי, כלומר, אין לי מדינה, אני עכשיו הולך כובש מערבי מדינה. מה זה צריך להיות?
רגע, אוקיי? שאל שאלה, אני רוצה לענות, אוקיי? אפילו בעברית שלי לא כל כך מצוין, אבל אתה שאלת שאלה, בסדר גמור, אני מנסה ככה.
אוקיי.
אתה שאלת לא כמו, הקיצוניים, אתה בדרך יפה, אז אני רוצה לענות, אני חושבת אולי אתה לא מבין.
Can we have English?
You want it in English?
Yes.
Okay, you believe that you want land for peace, that we will give land, there'll be peace, נכון? You believe that the Arabs have a right to a 23rd state?
Yes, I believe, but I don't think that it's connected to this question. I believe that even if there will not be peace, the right for every people, every man to have his own land, in own עצמאות, own freedom. And the Palestinians have right to have the freedom in their own land, even if there would be war. And I don't think that would be war.
So in other words, you would fight for the right of Palestinians, as you call them, to have their land, right?
Yes.
Are you willing to give your house to a Palestinian? Your house where you live? Yes, I want you to write your address. I'm a journalist, and I have Arabs that want your house. Write your address, and I will send them. I want them to have your house. You live in, you can go to Al-Fahim, and I will bring somebody from Al-Fahim to take your house. Is that fair?
The right to freedom.
No, about that again.
Okay, if
you said yes.
If the Palestinians say that they want kibbutz Ramat Rachel and not Jericho, then kibbutz Ramat Rachel.
You live in kibbutz?
Yes, and maybe I will continue to live there, and my president will be a Palestinian. And
listen, okay? I asked you if you would give your house on the kibbutz to a Palestinian. I don't call them Palestinians, they're Arabs. You said yes. So I'm asking you right here, write your name, and I will send someone. I have a lot of people that would like very much to live in Ramona, Hale, or anywhere. Write your name and your address.
Let me ask you a question. First of all, where are you from?
Kibbutz Ramat Rachel. Where are you from?
Well, he's taking from America.
I am from Florida, the United States.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 17.
You going to school now?
Yes.
What grade?
11th.
You're in the 11th grade?
Yes.
Okay, what's the school that you go to? What's the
Bad Brenner. It's really important.
Now, other students there, what percentage of your classmates would agree with what you're saying?
Again, please.
How many?
With the right to the Palestinians to a country, something like.
How many people would say that too? 50-50?
70%.
70% of the students where you're at would agree with what you're saying. 30% would
Not
say...
in everything I'm saying.
But in terms of they have a right to the land here. How many, are there Arab students there too?
No.
There are no Arab students. Are there any Arabs, either students or families, that you know that say that Jews...
Arabs that work in my kibbutz.
There's no Arabs in your kibbutz?
I know Arabs.
Oh, you know Arabs that live in your kibbutz. Now, the Arabs that live in your kibbutz...
No, they work there.
They work there. Oh, they don't live there. They work there. The Arabs that work in your kibbutz, do they say that Jews have a right to live in Eretz Yisrael?
I didn't ask them.
Okay, and they haven't said. Okay. You are one who believes that both the Jews and the Arabs have a right to live in it.
Not to the Jordans.
Where is this Palestine that you believe they should have? Ipo Medina Palestina.
The Palestinians that live in Palestine, Eretz Israel.
אין דבר כזה. איפה זה?
אוקיי, פלסטינה זה כל השטח הזאת.
ששאלתי אותך, למה אם הם פתחו במלחמה, אנחנו הסתכנו במוות והם הסתכנו במוות, אז אחרי זה הם עושים פוס, רגע, לא מסכימים, תנו לנו חזרה ותלכו הביתה. אדוני, מלחמה, עד הסוף.
יש פה ארץ.
עד הסוף.
יש פה ארץ.
זה הייתה מקודם השאלה.
יש פה ארץ שלא שייכת לאף אחד מזכות טבעית או משהו. ארץ שלא שייכת לאף אחד, 1800 שנה. שנייה, תסיים בבקשה. שנייה, אני אחד מכולם.
Can you say what they're saying?
1800 שנה לא היה פה שלטון של בני הארץ הזאת. ארץ כזאת...
מי זה בני הארץ הזאת? ב-1800 שנה.
1800 שנה לא היה פה שלטון שמי שגר בארץ שולט.
שהוא?
He's saying that the Palestinians deserve to. And what do you say about that?
אם לקחו אותנו לפני 1800 שנה וזרקו אותנו, אז זה עדיין לא משהו זה לא שלנו.
לא, זרקו את אבא של אבא של אבא של אבא של אבא.
ורגע, וזה שלו, זה גם לפי שיטתו של האבא של אבא שלו.
Why do you think he would say, he's a little older than you, and he goes to high school, why would he say that you can live with Palestinians, they should have a state?
לא, שלי. אז אבא שלו היה גנב.
You don't know why.
מהסבא של הסבא שלי את האדמה.
לא, הרומאים גנבו את ה...
אז הרומאים גנבו מהסבא שלי את האדמה. אז עכשיו אתה רוצה שאני אתן אותה למישהו אחר, למה?
Okay, you were just saying that what this high school student is saying is a very small view, small percentage view in Israel. That most high school students and junior high school students like yourself would not agree with what he's saying. So when he's saying that 70% of his high school agree with what he's saying, you would say that wouldn't be true?
Maybe in their school, but in other schools, in a lot of schools in Israel, that's not true at all.
The majority of the schools, you would not say that that would be true. Would you be able to comment on that?
What was the question?
The question is, the young man who was speaking here, saying that 70% of his classmates say that they would live with Palestinians, that the Palestinians should have a state. And this young man here says, no way, there's no way to live with them, and the majority of young people in Israel agree with that. What do you say? Of students in Israel. What do the students say?
I don't know. I didn't research it.
Do you go to the same school together?
No.
Where do you go to school?
In Jerusalem. You mean what school?
Yes.
Yivat Gunen.
And how old are you?
Almost 18.
I'm sorry?
Almost 18.
Almost 18. And how do most of the students in your school feel? Should there be a Palestinian state?
Yeah.
You would say. What would you say the percentage is?
About 95 and 5%.
It's the overwhelming majority in your school.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me have you both come closer together so I can get you both in. Okay. Now, I know this may be a little unfair because there's a difference. What grade did your school go up to? What?
I just changed to the school that I'm in now, but
yes.
The school that I was at last year was also the same.
So it goes up to what grade?
Well, the school that I was at until 8th grade, and this
until 8th grade.
Until
8th grade as well?
No.
To 12th grade?
Yeah.
Goes to 12th grade. Okay. In the school that you're in, is there any kind of a drug problem with the students there? Okay. In the school that you're in, is there any kind of a drug problem that you're there?
That includes the whole school?
Yeah, upper grades. Is there any kind of a drug problem there?
There are a few people who have a drug problem.
A few people?
Yeah, but not the whole school, not the majority.
By a few people, what percentage?
5.
5%,
Maybe less, maybe less.
A very small percentage.
Yeah.
This is small. Is there any kind of crime that goes on in your school?
Not that I know of.
Okay. You say it's very safe to be there. It's very safe to be there.
How do you mean?
It's very safe to go to school there. You feel very safe. You don't feel like you would be attacked.
No.
Are there Arabs in your school?
No.
There are no Arabs in your school. You feel safe going on the roads all the time? Yes.
No, I don't feel safe.
And why not?
Because I'm afraid I might be stabbed in the back.
And who would stab you in the back?
Terror.
Do you have any family or friends who have been attacked and who are victims of the Arab terror?
No.
You don't? Do you know others? Do you know others? Do you have friends or do you know other families?
I don't know them personally, but
you know of them.
Yeah.
So would you say that everyone in Israel knows of someone somewhere who has been a victim of Arab terror, like you know of someone else? Everybody knows of someone?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know. But in your school, most people know someone who's been affected by the Arab terror.
I don't know. I never asked them.
You don't know.
Only my opinion.
You don't know. Okay. Let me ask you. Has there been anyone in your family who's been a victim of Arab terror?
No, Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. Any of your friends? Any of your friends' families that you know of? Maybe, you're not sure. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Do you have any? Okay, we have to translate because this is being filmed.
Хватит, что наши евреи
in Russian.
Okay, it's in Russian. Okay, this is in Russian, so we need a Russian translator.
Something about Israel being a Nazi country.
Oh, he says Israel is a Nazi country.
I think he said Nazi.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
מישהו, אם לא עשו לו ברית מילה, זה סימן שהוא לא מוכן לגור איתי לפי.
Benjamin? Are you gonna...
Could I ask you something without the camera?
Sure.
Are you trying to prove something? Because you have to
Okay. One that I'd like to bring out here is that you go to primarily a secular school, what you call a secular school, and you attend what would be called a religious school. Okay. And we have what's the perception in the United States is that the secular people are more leftist and the religious people are more on the right. Would you both agree with that? Okay. And so that
a lot of non-from people are also against this whole movement of this against all what's going on now.
Would you say that there are more leftists who are against the Rabin government than there are rightists who are for it? No, you'd say it's even. What would you say? Would you say that there are more leftists who are against the Rabin government than there are rightists who are for it?
There are more rightists. There are more rightists who are against what's going on now.
Yes, there are more rightists who are. Are there some people are on the right who are for the present government?
No, not anymore. Maybe at the beginning.
But none at all now.
Rabin is a liar. I mean, he promised that he won't give back the Golan. Now he's saying that for peace he will give it back. So that just shows that he's a big liar. A lot of people in the Golan that voted for him now regret it, and they wouldn't vote for him if it would be.
Are there people? Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
He was different for the elections. I mean, he was very rightist. He thought we should break the Arabs' bones and legs.
Are you saying also that he said some things before that he's saying differently now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the young man here said that Rabin is a liar. He's told lies. Would you use language that strong?
I don't know what he said exactly, so I can't judge.
Okay, let's ask. Why do you say that Rabin is a liar?
Because he said that he won't give back the Golan. Because he said that he won't give back the Golan because then the Syrians could just, like what happened before the wars with the Syrians, they could see the whole country from the Golan.
Is that true that Rabin said he wouldn't give back the Golan?
Yes.
And now he's saying that he is giving back the Golan.
Yes, I think so.
Would that leave open the accusation that he is a liar?
Maybe he is, but I think it's good that he gives back the Golan.
Okay, so maybe it's good that he lied.
Yeah, no, not that he lied, but that he's given back.
Oh, that the lie that he said maybe is good.
I don't think anybody should lie, so...
You don't think so?
Drop it.
Okay, so you don't think he should have lied?
Yeah, I think it's not fair. I mean, that's why he's so angry, because he shouldn't have lied.
He shouldn't have lied.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have lied. Let me ask you, are there any other lies that you would say Rabin has made?
Not to remember of, but there are. I know that there are.
You know that there are
Everything
others.
is taped on there. Everyone, he was talking on the TV before the elections. He was saying a lot of things. And now he regrets it and he doesn't think it's...
Okay, let me ask you. Is there anything that Rabin has said that you've liked or that you approve of?
Well, I don't think you should give back the Golan.
But is there anything that he has said that you like, that you approve of? There's nothing that he said that you like. Is there anything that he has said that you don't like? that you disapprove of?
To kill the Arabs. He said that.
Okay, now he's not saying that now, is he?
No.
But is there anything that he's saying now that you don't like, that you don't feel comfortable with, that you distrust, that you don't like? Is there anything that he's saying now that he's saying that's not good?
Not that I know.
Not that you know. Okay, very good. I want to thank you both very much. Thank you.
I'm an anarchist personally.
Okay. Shifra, what did you want to say here?
This young man doesn't want to give his house to an Arab. The Intifada is the freedom movement of the Arabs. The murders of Jews and the injury of thousands of Jews is their freedom movement. He said we also had a freedom movement, the Jews here. But I said, where did we have a freedom movement that takes mothers and children like Raphael Weiss and on a bus petrol bombs to death and all the other atrocities? Wake up!
I want 1 minute. I want to answer, and then my parents wait to me at home. I'm saying that the Arabs that want to kill Jews for the freedom. There were Jews that wanted to kill Arabs and British for the freedom. But if there's some Arabs that kill Jews and that throwing stones, it's not saying that they don't have the right to a land, to a free land.
Now, you believe that the Arabs have a right to this land and the Jews have a right...
The Palestinians and the Jews, not to the...
What's the difference between...
To the ground.
When you say the Palestinians, what do you mean? What's the difference between the Palestinians and when I said Arabs, you said Palestinians? Why did you say Palestinians instead of Arabs?
A Jew is feeling contact to other Jews.
Okay, it has to be in English.
Speak there.
Yes. Who are you? Jew. Yes? No, we can... Oh, okay. Okay.
A Jew feeling more strong contact to other Jew than to someone from
No,
America
let me find out. You were saying... Wait. You're saying, when I said, do the Arabs have a right as the Jews to Eretz Yisrael, you said not the Arabs, the Palestinians. Why did you say not the Arabs, the Palestinians?
Palestinians feel more contact to other Palestinians.
Who are the Palestinians? Who are the Palestinians?
The Palestinians are the ones that feel contact one to each other. Like the Jews.
Okay, this is a people. Okay, now let me see if I understand this. Okay. Now, the Palestinians that you're saying are people who have a feeling toward other Palestinians.
Yes.
Okay.
Nationality feeling.
Okay, so they have a feeling.
Not so good.
Okay, you're doing very well. Now the okay. Okay, you're saying that the Arabs who have a feeling toward other Arabs, these are Arab. You're not saying Jewish Palestinians, you're saying Arab Palestinians, right? When you say Palestinians, you mean Arabs. You don't mean Jews, do you?
I think so. I didn't really
you yourself have a feeling toward Arabs, you would say. You yourself have a feeling toward Arabs, right?
I'm not feeling like one of a nation. I'm feeling I have no nation. I'm feeling the same contact
you have no nation?
And to Palestinians.
Okay, you have no nation.
No.
You don't feel that you say you're anarchist? You're anarchist.
Anarchist, but
you wouldn't care if there was an Arab sovereignty in Eretz Yisrael that you lived under, or if it was a Jewish sovereignty. It would make no difference to you as an anarchist.
I need the
sovereignty. Sovereignty means an Arab statehood, a state. If Israel was an Arab state, okay, it wouldn't make any difference to you if Israel was an Arab state.
I think that the Jews have there have to be some land for the Jew.
But for you yourself, you say you're an anarchist. You say you're an anarchist.
Yes.
So for you yourself, you wouldn't care whether Israel is controlled by Arabs any more than by Jews.
Will be controlled by the Arabs.
Yes.
There will be no land to the Jew nation, and I don't want it because the Jew nation have to get a land.
So if there is a Jewish state, then there could be an Arab state.
Jewish state.
But if there is an Arab state, there can't be a Jewish state.
I didn't. If all Israel.
This is exactly what you say. If there is an Arab state in this eternal land of Hashem, this land is not a land of human beings. This is a land of Ribono Shel Olam, Zotomer, the Creator. This land was given to the Jews. Don't make mahloket with me. You are not consulting. This land was given by the Creator of the universe to the Jewish nation, and the Jewish nation is the sole administrator in all eternity of this land. Only the Jewish nation can live and govern this land. If this only 1 centimeter of this land is under the control of a non-Jew, it is Hilul Hashem. This is the tradition of the Jewish.
There is something that I think you both agree with, and let me catch this. Excuse me, sir.
Please.
I believe that there's something that you both agree with. If there is part of Eretz Israel that is under Arab control, Jews will not be able to live there.
No, if all Jews will be in our control, there will be Jews can live there, but there will be no place for Jews that, like Jews in other countries, Jews pogromim, Jews that.
You think there'd be pogroms?
Yes,
there would be pogroms. It would not be safe for Jews under Arab rule in Israel.
Rabbi, there is another statement. I wish you to.
That would be something that you would both agree with. Let me see if I have this straight.
I don't agree on that allegation. This land can only be under the sovereignty of the Jewish nation, inclusive the king.
Why? Because it's right in a book that was written before thousands of years.
You are speaking, how old are you? You speak without learning Torah. Learn Torah first, then you can give statement.
I learned to hate it.
You have to give the statement on behalf of the Jewish nation. If you have not the wisdom of the Torah, you can't.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. Shalom, my dear friend. My name is Uriel Ben Moshe Shlomo. I am learning Torah and preparing my rabbinical examination ordination in 2 years here in Jerusalem. I was born in Cameroon, did Aliyah for 6 years ago from Copenhagen when I was a teacher in the university. Why I came this evening here? Because for 2 days ago I wrote the invitation of Mrs. Elisha Ben-Horin from Golan to mobilize the Jewish women to stand up and to defend this land as Devorah did, as Ruth did, as Esther did, as Mordechai Yehudi did, as Miriam Hanevia did in Misraim. That is why I believe that independently of my own Torah Education Institute for Israel-African Connections in Jerusalem, I am solidary to every kind of mobilization of the Jewish nation worldwide to stand up in order to demonstrate our tradition of belief in Hashem and to defend this land, the only holy place of the world and the only holy land of the humanity. And this place is not only for the Jewish people. Most people who hate the Jews, they don't know it. That is why I came to support the Jewish women and girls and boys and children and babies who are here now to give a new testimonial of our eternal courage and our eternal belief that Hashem will save this land as soon as possible and give us a good Torah government that will be the government of the redemption of the Jewish people and of the world.
Very good. Tomo, let me ask you one more question. How did you learn to speak Hebrew so well?
From Cameroon, where I got light of life from my father and mother. We were slaves, and until now we are slaves of Muslim and Christian in Africa. So we have no chance and no possibility of Hebrew education or Torah education. Only when I arrived in Jerusalem on 17 April 1988, at the Kotel, I started to open the first page of Hebrew language at the age of 48. And now I have spent 6 years in 6 yeshivot in Jerusalem, and I am learning now at the Bet Midrash Mekazi Sephardi of Rav Shalom Katzim, who is coming back today from America to inform the Jews that this land needs the aliyah of all the 7 million Jews of the United States of America and all 15 million of Jews dispersed in the American continent, and also the redemption of Jewish dispersed tribes in Africa, in Hodu, in Europe. And of course, you are making here a good tribute, more than Jesse Jackson, who came here on the coast of the Jewish nation to make a tiyul, to make a luxurious, lucrative visit of the terrorists and the murder of the Jewish children.
Let me ask you, is it very dangerous for the Jews to be living in Cameroon today now?
It was so.